Welcome back. I'm Travis with Linux Academy. There's going to be times when we're creating a Docker file and we don't want certain files copied over to the image. And this is where the dockerignore file comes in. So go and cd into the Docker images directory. We're going to create a new directory. It's going to be called dockerignore. Then go and cd into it. Clone the weather app repository, and then go and cd into the source directory. For this lesson, we need to check out the dockerignore branch. We can check and see which branch we're on by executing git branch. When I do an ls, we have some files and directories we don't want copied over to our image. Specifically, we have one called docs, test, and then this readme file. These files and directories are just going to make the image bigger when we go and create it, so we want to make sure that they're excluded. So I'm going to go and back out of this directory, and now we're going to go and create the dockerignore file. Execute vi.dockerignore. Now I do have the contents of the dockerignore file in the description of the video. I'm going to go and paste it in, and let's go and talk about this file. Starting at the very top here, I do have a comment, so anytime we use the hash symbol, we can add a comment. And this line will be ignored when we execute the Docker image build. There's several ways we can go and exclude files and directories. Now, first off, because everything is in the source directory, I'm using a star, which is a wildcard. We want to make sure that we match all subdirectories. And I'm using another wildcard to make sure that we exclude any file that ends with MD. Same thing here, we're using another wildcard. We want to exclude all directories called .git. Here we're going to go and specify source and then docs, and this is going to go and exclude this directory and any files that it has in it. And again, we're using a wildcard here to get rid of test. Save and quit. Go and create your Docker file by executing vi dockerfile. Go and paste in the contents, which can be found in the description of the video. At this point, you guys should be pretty familiar with the instructions, so I'm just going to go and save and quit out of the file. Execute a Docker image build. We're just going to be tagging this as v5. Now that the build is done, we're going to execute a Docker container run using the image we just created. The easiest way to go and verify that the dockerignore file is doing its job is to execute a Docker container exec. The command we'll be executing is ls-la var node. So looking at the contents of this directory, we don't have the readme file. .git is not there. We don't have the docs directory and the test directory. So the dockerignore file did its job. All this plays into the best practices of building images. We want to make sure that we keep our images as small as possible. Use the dockerignore file anytime you have files and directories that you don't want included on your image. That's all I have. Go ahead and mark this lesson complete.